The Democrats in the House have proposed a full release of the Epstein files unredacted. And big shocker to everyone out there, the House Republicans have blocked it. They do not want it because law and order only applies whenever their names aren't on the list and they won't get in trouble, which is a strange thing because the MAGA base is very upset about the Epstein files not being released because, as we were told multiple times by Trump himself, the Epstein files were in fact going to be released. And he wanted everyone to see that he wasn't on this list. But all of a sudden, they blocked it. So, MAGA, weigh in. I'm curious to what you guys' base thinks about this because it seems to be a hot button issue that you guys have been very upset about because you feel that the government is hiding something because they are. Yeah, the Republicans are no longer the Republicans I grew up with because this would not have stood, 15 years ago.
Breaking news, Republicans in the House right now are blocking a congressional order to force the release of the Epstein files today. Congress is attempting to bypass President Trump and force the FBI to release the client list so we know everyone who was involved with Epstein. This would involve his top aide, Ghislaine Maxwell, to testify before Congress and give an extensive list of everyone who went to the island. But today, House Republicans led by the Speaker Mike Johnson are blocking this bill and even refusing to vote on it or hold a vote. Instead saying that President Trump's authority cannot be questioned and that the FBI and CIA will do the, quote, right thing. Democrats like Hakeem Jeffries are pointing out that no matter what really happens here or who has the authority, something like the Epstein files should be released and at least voted on in the House. But now the files are ultimately being withheld by the Republican majority in the Congress, which raises a lot of questions on who is in this list and why do they want to block something like this. Comment what you think and make sure to follow for the news update.
Republicans in the House Rules Committee just blocked an amendment that would have forced Congress to have a vote on whether the Trump administration should release the Epstein files that supposedly don't exist. They are helping Donald Trump cover up Jeffrey Epstein's depravity and Donald Trump's involvement in that, allegedly, because they know that if those files see the light of day, the Republican Party will be over. They've already allowed Donald Trump and his cult to become the king and kingmaker of the Republican Party and the right wing in general in America. Republican voters don't vote for Republicans. They vote for Trump. The trade-off to losing all of their power as a political party to one man is that they were able to ride that one man's popularity into office. Now Donald Trump's cult is unraveling and his approval rating is plummeting as he proves that he clearly has something to hide with regards to the Epstein files. Even the most rabid right-wing lunatics are not talking about making America great again. They're talking about this. Now Epstein's former accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is still alive and in prison for her involvement in his crimes, has offered to testify before Congress, and Republicans are absolutely bricking it. Hence why they are at an institutional level desperately blocking any attempt to bring the truth to light regarding the Epstein files and Donald Trump's potential involvement in them. Also, them having this conversation about whether or not they should release the Epstein files and Donald Trump's Republicans blocking it suggests very strongly that they do exist. Very contrary to what the entire Trump administration has been insisting for weeks now. This issue will cook Trump, and without Trump, they have nothing. Send this to your Republican mum or uncle or cousin or whatever, because they need to see this for more.
So the Republican Party is officially the party of protecting Jeffrey Epstein. I don't care what they want to call themselves, MAGA, the Close the Border Party, the No Bros and Women's Sports. I don't give a fuck. They are the party of protecting Jeffrey Epstein. Every single Republican voted no against releasing these files. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I guess it doesn't fucking matter what she's been out here saying. Even she voted against releasing these files. You know, I can't think of any issue in recent memory that is more bipartisan than this issue should be. And I was hoping that Trump supporters would figure out that Republicans do not have their best interests in mind once they realized they were scammed by the big beautiful bill. But if you couldn't figure it out then you should especially know by now that Republicans are not out here fighting for you. Their only interest is to protect billionaires at all cost, even if those billionaires are flying out to islands with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I know that a lot of people who voted for Trump also voted for Obama. So I hope that they realize at some point that they've been completely scammed by a con man, and then hopefully they can come back to their senses. That's what I'm hoping. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I think we should hammer them on this and not let this go. So I'm going to keep talking about it, and you guys should too. All right? Love you. Talk soon.
So yeah, while we all slept, Republicans blocked the release of Epstein files because of course they did, right? These are the same people that are constantly screaming about protecting kids, taking down the elites, but when it comes time to actually release documents that could expose some of the worst abuse imaginable, they vote no. And let me be crystal fucking clear. I don't care if it is Democrats, Republicans, independents, celebrities, or billionaires. Whoever the hell is on that list, they all need to be held accountable, period. This should not be political, guys. This is about justice. This is about victims. And if you're voting to hide that information, you're protecting abusers, full stop. Because let's be real, if that list was full of Democrats, Republicans would be printing it out and taping it to every single wall in Congress. But now it probably includes some of their own, right? And suddenly it's hush hush. You don't get to claim you're the party of moral values and family values if you're covering up for monsters. And if you're still defending this, still justifying it, then you're either completely lost or you're part of the damn problem. This is disgusting and we are not letting it slide.
So Representative Ro Khanna introduced an amendment last night to force the Republicans and the Democrats to release the Jeffrey Epstein list. And surprise, surprise, Republicans blocked it. Yeah, folks, the Republican Party blocked it. Now, MAGA, you know exactly which side your party actually stands on. We know for a fact now that they are protecting the alleged president, Donald Trump. They had an opportunity to release the list and side with Ro Khanna, but they decided, no, we're going to block the list. The Republican Party is going to block the list. And people like Charlie Kirk are out there saying, oh, we're done with the list. We're not talking about it no more. I'm going to trust this administration. Give me a break. The opportunity was placed before these Republican dipshits, and they chose to side with cover-ups for people like Jeffrey Epstein and the rich billionaires that are on this list. They had their opportunity, and now the Republican Party has 100% showed us where they friggin' stand on this issue. MAGA, you should be pissed as hell. Unbelievable. Who would vote against releasing the list? And why would they do it? Like, share, follow for more. This is Grim with Get the Rant, and I'll see you in the next video.
Oh my God, Trumpers. Like, this shit is out of control and I love it. Like, it's so sickening that this is what's going on. Like, the Republican Party now are coming after Pam Bondi. They're coming after Donald Trump. They're coming after Kash Patel over this Epstein thing. And now that they had a cabinet meeting with Kash Patel, Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, and some of the other higher-ups stating that Donald Trump says, I want to put an end to this. Photos have come out of Donald Trump and Epstein together. Also, RFJK Jr. said that he's been on Epstein's plane. There's a lot of crooked shit that now Donald Trump, Kash Patel, and Pam Bondi is trying to hide. Pam Bondi said that the file was on her desk, and now she's saying there's nothing on that file. Do you think that I believe that? And if you believe that, you're as cuckoo as you look in the mirror, because there's shit on that file that they want to keep quiet because they know that everybody in Washington that surrounds themselves with Donald Trump is attached on that file. Even how you can't be on the motherfucker's plane like on RFJK Jr. and say, hey, I've never had nothing to do. Bitch, you just said you were on the plane. Donald Trump, well, we had a falling out, but we're getting rid of the file. This is how Donald Trump acts when he wants to cover shit up, and they're all in on it, and now they're running around the White House trying to keep this shit quiet so it don't get out to the public, because when Donald Trump gets out of office, I guarantee you he don't ever see the light of day. He's going to be in prison with this shit. MAGAs, thanks for fucking us. All right, Republicans, you did it in. You've done it now. The MAGAs, the Republicans, all you motherfuckers. I just got done watching RFK Jr. sit there and say, we should have released the Epstein files. I also just watched the podcast for J.D. Vance saying, we should release the Epstein files. I watched the clip of Pam Bondi sitting there saying, hey, it's on my desk. Please, it's on my desk. We're reviewing it now. But Donald Trump says, we're not releasing shit because I'm probably on this son of a bitch. My friends are on this son of a bitch, and this is going to put us all in prison. And probably a lot of other bad things would happen if people knew that Donald Trump was on this Epstein list. And again, so many people on TikTok, so many people on all the other social media platforms saying that we regret voting for Donald Trump, that I'm going to die on this hill. You said you were going to release it. Then Donald Trump said he wasn't going to release it because he's on it. And you voted for him. What a bunch of, like, why did you vote for this man? It's unbelievable because there's not been no money bags on your doorstep. Why'd you vote for him? Because he's on that list. Thanks, MAGAs, for fucking us.
Hopped on Twitter to see how it's going over there since the Republicans voted no on having those Epstein files released. And it's doing precisely as I thought it would. It is burning to the ground. Burning to the ground. Smoke, alarms, sirens, screaming. Yep. People screaming for a new party, that they will never vote for them again. They're liars. Yeah. It's burning. And it sounds so much worse than a week ago, or however many days it was. Yeah, this is ramped. Wait the fuck up. Oh my God. I haven't even looked on True Social or Reddit. And then on top of it, right afterwards, Trump doubled down when they asked him about it before he got in his helicopter. He doubled down, said that it was Biden, Obama, and Comey that did this. You do it, Trump. You go. He's so lost because he's never been here before. His big lies have always worked. They've always worked. And this time they're not. And the fact that he just did that after that vote, yeah, any minute now, Elon's going to have to shut that thing down because it will be straight fire.
Republicans in Congress just blocked the release of the Epstein files in an overnight vote. Now, last night, while America was sleeping, the House Rules Committee put up a vote to release the Epstein files, and the Republicans said no. All the Democrats voted yes, let's get it to the floor, and the Republicans weren't trying to hear it. And this paints Donald Trump in a corner because it was his supporters, his administration, that pushed for the release of the Epstein files. Trump said he would. Patel said he would. Bongino, Pam Bondi, all said they were going to release it. Heck, they put out phase 1 of the Epstein files, and now they're telling you there's nothing there. But they're also blocking the release of nothing. This is huge, and the first person to speak out was Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I promise you, more MAGA today are going to spend the day saying, who are you protecting? What are you hiding? And while many MAGA will fall in line for sure, make no mistake, this is the first real splintering we have seen.